The Pittsburgh Steelers lost a nail-biter heartbreaker to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They were down big. This was
a blowout nail-biter.
21-0.
It was a blowout nail-biter.
It was a blowout nail-biter. That's a great way to put it. Antonio Brown came back, what was it, like a month, if that, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
From a torn calf muscle to play in this game. There's a reason that he's an all-pro. Martavis Bryant had a great play right before halftime to get the Steelers way back in it. We've seen this so many times with the likes of Andy Reid. We've seen it really never with Bill Belichick.
Right.
But now we are seeing it a lot with Mike Tomlin and Todd Haley. Being aggressive when you don't have to. What do I mean? There were 2 4th down plays. It was 4th and inches, 4th and 1. One of the plays was a side sweep to Le'Veon Bell and they lost 5 yards.
Yep.
The other, Ben Roethlisberger had to make a perfect throw, but he did have Eli Rogers going over the middle towards the top of the screen when they were going from left to right in the second half. Had to be a perfect throw, but it's something that Ben Roethlisberger makes, especially at 35 years old. So both 4th down plays, 4th and short. What is the thing that they don't do?
Keep it simple.
And?
Sneak. Get the first down.
Correct.
Do what the Patriots always do, and it always works.
I saw an incredible
Your quarterback
stat.
is 6'5", and he's bigger than Tom Brady.
And he's like 240.
Just lie down. Quick snap, run up there real fast, and even when they're expecting the sneak, just do it quickly.
Let me ask you a question. Out of 19 times, how many times when it's been 4th and short and Ben Roethlisberger's at a quarterback sneak do you think they've gotten the first down?
I'd say 18.
18 is correct. 18 is correct. Here's the other part where they mismanaged the game and were way too aggressive. You're down 10, okay? No matter what, you cannot score 10 points on 1 possession. So there's like $1:45 left, right?
That's what you say, but I mean.
Right, until they add the 4-point play like basketball. So there's $1:45 left. What do? You don't kick, they have 2 timeouts. You don't kick the field goal, okay? They continue to go and continue to go and continue to go. And they're trying to score a touchdown. When, again, you gotta remember, you still have to recover an onside kick. So why not be efficient, save time, kick the field goal, and then go for your onside kick, instead of having an onside kick with, as they had it played out to be, with 1 second left. It's physically impossible. If I'm a Steelers fan, right? Skip is a Steelers fan who's in the studio. Good friend Brian McFadden, Steelers fan. He was distraught after this.
I mean, we have TYT Pittsburgh. So
we have TYT Pittsburgh.
They're all Steelers fans.
They're all like, they should be pissed. The Jaguars played a really good game. They were beatable. The problem was Pittsburgh and Todd Haley and Mike Tomlin outcoached themselves in big parts of this game.
It's a lot. Happens more than you would think. Am
I wrong?
No, you're right. But the thing is also, I was okay with them going more for the touchdown first, only because you're getting to that point, you're getting that deep. You may not necessarily get that deep for the field goal, so if you can get the field goal second, that's fine. But once you're running clock, then you go ahead and go for it. If you're just trying to get there, yeah, you have to start taking shots then. If you're trying to get a touchdown now, take some shots rather than just
Right, they tried. It was just too long of a possession, man. Yeah. Like, no matter what, by default, because of the rules that we have in place, you had to go for an onside kick at some point. So what would you want to do? Save as much clock as you can and set yourselves up, if you recover, to have that insurance of time.
But again, this is personnel thing, man. Look, this Jaguars defense, you don't want to mess with these defensive backs. So you don't take these shots down the field. Yeah,
so
you're not as confident taking those shots downfield, which you kind of have to do if you're trying to get the touchdown first. So if you have that, go ahead and adjust your game plan to who you're playing, and that just doesn't happen enough. Ben Mankiewicz, also with the network, who you guys know.
Never heard of him.
I was watching the game with him, and he said this for years. Yeah,
oh, geez.
He said this for years. There should be a clock management person who calls the timeouts at the right time.
For a long time.
Yeah, who calls right timeouts at the right time. Who like, you have someone who's in the booth who's making sure that, oh, should we throw the challenge flag? There's someone who does that. He goes, man, just pay some guy who the only time he calls his timeouts, you can pay him. He goes, we got offensive linemen, backup offensive linemen, they're paying millions of dollars who barely get in the game. Yeah. Fine, and they need it.
Pay him $100,000.
Pay him $100,000. Yeah. If they take some schlep who does sports talk and say, hey, So I work in the Steelers front office, and we need someone who knows about timeouts and who thinks about nothing else but timeouts and clock management.
It's so simple.
We'll run you through a test to see if you figure this out, and if you do, we'll pay just barely 6 figures.
Right.
How many people would be like, "Oh my God, yes, me"?
And
you'd have people down the block waiting for that job.
I believe
you can get the best one.
They had 2 timeouts with 2:15 left, and you had the 2-minute warning, and Mike Tomlin elected to not use any.
Well, again, which is
so
why.
So technically, you had 3 stoppages of the clock.
Yeah, and I told Ben this yesterday. I said, and people go, "Oh, I can't believe Mike Tomlin would do it this way." I don't even blame Mike Tomlin because he's thinking of so many things in that 5 to 10 second span of when you should have called that timeout. He doesn't have time to really think about it that way. It's not even like his fault. Just get someone who has the time to analyze this because he's doing everything else.
This is the difference between. This is no disrespect. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have been a model franchise. But in late game situations, the one thing that you can't do is have mental mistakes. As Bryant McFadden has said many times to me, a 2-time Super Bowl winner. Then many coaches have had mental mistakes, but the one that has a long-standing relationship with not being his own worst enemy is who? Bill Belichick. And that is why he is one of the best coaches. Because he's not putting a crutch on his own team in order to put themselves in a deeper hole than anywhere else. And that's why the John Foxes and the Mike Tomlins and a few others, that's why they haven't had the long-standing relationship with their franchise that a Bill Belichick has. Now, yes, does that, of course, come with Tom Brady? And does it come with drafting well? Yeah, of course. And Bill Belichick is a big reason why they draft so well and why they're trading Chandler Jones for a 2nd-round pick. And everyone's like, what the hell? Yeah, and they're trading Richard Seymour for a 1st-round pick. And everyone's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Because they're setting themselves up. Again, the one thing that they don't do is fuck themselves at the end of games in order to put themselves in a deeper hole.
So, I mean, you just get someone to do it. That's all. I mean, also, the way Bill Belichick drafted quarterbacks to take over the reins after Tom Brady's gone, that really worked out for them.
Yes, it did. By the way, Jalen Ramsey, that's one.
I never got a chance to talk about that, so
that's fine.
Bring it up.
Jalen Ramsey's one guy you don't want to mess with. Here he is.
I was kind of wondering why they were so confident because we stomped their ass last time, and we knew we was gonna do the same this time. I mean, we were confident coming in the game. So I mean, I can't tell you why they were so confident, but that went out the door real quick.
It did.
There was a pregame, I think it was the NFL Network's pregame show on it, and they interviewed the 2 corners. He was one of them, and they asked, which one of you is the biggest trash talker? And he and then they had a couple instances, and he said, yeah. And they played a couple clips from during the season when he was in the locker room, and he said, I told him he was soft, because he's soft. This is the guy you hate when you're playing against him, and you love when he's on your team.
He's with you, yes. And Jalen Ramsey continued the shit talking after the game. Take a look at that.
I ain't got too much to say, but y'all make sure y'all bring that same energy out here next week and the week after. We going to the Super Bowl, and we gonna win that bitch. We gonna win that bitch. Duval!
It's a hard act to follow, my friend.
I love it, because that's the thing. Now, say they don't obviously go on to win the Super Bowl and win that shit. Everyone's gonna say, you know what? Because of Ramsey's big mouth is the reason why. Because he likes this bullshit. If he sits around, he goes out and goes, hey, you guys, we're gonna play the Patriots. They're a great organization, historic organization. Tom Brady's one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Bill Belichick, I really respect him. Maybe we can win next week. People are gonna go, oh.
And then they'd be like, Super Bowl!
Like, nobody wants to hear that bullshit.
Of course not.
They want to hear the reality. Everybody says it this way. Everybody talks like this when they're about to go into competition. But we have to feel like we have to neuter people and tell them, hey, you better speak respectfully of the guy you're about to try and hit with your entire body next week. No, man, fuck those guys. That's what everybody goes into a game thinking. Let's not sugarcoat, let's not act like that's not how everyone is. Ramsey's the same as many other guys, man. So I love him for it. I like reality. That's why I liked when anybody speaks up in any sport and says, oh, this is what I feel. No, yeah, they're a good team. Obviously, they're here, but we're going to stomp them. If you don't feel that way, you shouldn't be playing.
And you shouldn't be watching our videos at youtube.com/TYT Sports.